I play Robert Lincoln, which is Abraham Lincoln's eldest son. And at this point in the story, Robert's 21. He's going to Harvard. And he's a rare bird because he's not fighting in the Civil War, and everybody else is fighting. As he says, you drafted half the men in Boston. So that puts him in a really awkward position. Being that privileged and that fortunate, he's lucky to not be fighting, because who wants to go fight in this horrible bloody war where you could die? But at the same time, he's become a bit of a pariah. As far as doing research, first of all, Mr. Kushner has done a great deal of research, and I have spoken to him quite a lot. And it's been great getting to know him and seeing how passionate he is. And he knows so much about not just this period of time that the story of this film is about, but he knows so much about the entire family history, and really just about the entire time. He also just knows a great deal about American history in general, and things in general. I was more keyed into the people that are working on this project and learning what I could from them. And everyone's got their own perspective. Everyone's, like I was talking to Sally Field, and she's really learned a lot about Mary. Stephen knows a great deal about all this stuff. So yeah, just speaking with the different people that I'm working with about the story and about the character has been really illuminating for me. Yeah, well, when they first sent me the script, I assumed it would be a biopic, that from the childhood to the end of the life of Abraham Lincoln, which I was looking forward to reading. But when I started to read it and discovered that it's actually so specifically focused on this one very important moment in time, it's really over the course of, I think, 2 months. But the crux of Mr. Lincoln's presidency and legacy, where he managed to pass the 13th Amendment in the context of the Civil War, that to me, for me, that's more my taste of movies, because then it becomes a real political intrigue and really about something even larger than one man. When they offered me the role, we had a little exchange via text message, which was, first of all, just a delight. He was such a sweet and generous guy with his words. But also, it's a little bizarre to be text messaging with someone that I've idolized for years in my life, who, I'm an actor, I really love acting, and this is a guy who has mastered the craft to such a degree that it's profoundly inspiring to watch him do what he does. The team that Daniel and Stephen are making is resulting in what I think is just an incredibly profound and compelling image of this moment in history. Stephen has a unique way of sort of diving into the American zeitgeist and reflecting it in cinematic form. And obviously, the story of Abraham Lincoln is a prominent story in our culture. And I think he's the perfect guy to do it, and he's really clearly enjoying it. He's so in his element. It's fun to see a director having so much fun. It doesn't always happen that way. I just met Sally for the first time the other night. We did our first scene together, calling each other, mom and son and my boy and things like that. And I know that might sound weird to an outsider, but she certainly pulls it off. when I think of her right now, I think of her in a huge dress and speaking with a refined Kentucky accent.